Hey guys, hope you're all doing great. So this is Ultimate Academy's team presenting ONYX Financial Track, and we are on the customer system. We're already done with the setup. You can go back to previous lectures if you've missed the setup, because right now we're going to start talking about the inputs. Alright, so the first screen we have is promoter details. From the screen, we add the promoter's information. You can actually use the screen to also link the promoter to a specific customer and specific items that they promote. First, we will click on Add. The promoter code is automatic. You will type in the promoter's name and the foreign name. And then the first tab that we have is Promoter's Details. Now, in that tab, we can enter the promoter's information, as we can see here, or their contact information to be more accurate, such as their phone number, address, mobile number, and so on. The second tab we have is Additional Data, and it's just a few empty fields where you can enter any additional data that you need to save. Alright. So, the tab after that is Connect Promoter with Customers. In Customer Code, we will hit F9 and select the customer that we want to link this promoter to. And once you've selected the customer's name appears automatically, so you do not have to worry about entering the customer's name. Then we have Connect Promoters with Items. The same idea as the previous tab, but here we're linking specific items that this promoter handles. We'll move on to the next screen, which is Customer Groups. Alright, so here we can create groups that later on we can link our customers to. So we're basically here just creating the group itself, but we will use the customer details screen to add our customers to the group. To create the group, you will click on Add, enter the name and the foreign name, and in Group Account Number, we will hit F9 and view the chart of accounts so we can select like the account that we want to link this group to. Alright, so the next screen we have is going to be Collector's Details. And in this screen, we add our collectors. We can also link the collector to a safe or the company's bank account. As usual, click on Add, enter the collector's name and foreign name. And then in Account Number, we will press F9 and select the safe or the bank account that we're going to link to this collector, or that this collector's activity would reflect on. We have three tabs. The first one is Collector Details. And here we add the collector's contact information, and we can also determine the collector's commission in the field commission per or PER basically, or percentage. Then we have privilege. So in privilege, what we do basically is that we add or select the users who are allowed to view this collector's information and the users who have the privilege of editing this collector's details. The final tab we have is Statistics, and in that one we're going to be able to view the collector's activity, the saves this collector's added on, the bank accounts, the dates of these transactions, the currencies they collected in, the commissions on their previous transactions or activities, and so on. So it's basically like a summary or a report of the transactions that this collector has made. Next screen is going to be Driver's Details. Click on Add, enter the name and the foreign name. We can also determine a route for this driver from the field route number. The rest of the fields are for the driver's contact information, and we can also link this driver with a representative. In representative number, you have a drop-down menu which you can click on and select the representative. Alright, so the next screen we have is going to be route line details. Click on Add, enter the name in Arabic and the foreign name as well, and that's going to be in English. Alright, to create the route, you will first select the country, and then province, and then city, and those are all drop-down menus. Then we select the region, or the area. That's going to be like in the table below, but we will select the first three first. So in region code, we will hit F9 to view all the saved or previously entered regions. And after you select the right area, the name will be automatic. And of course, just this applies for all of the screens. Do not forget to save before you close the screen so that your changes would not be discarded. The next screen we have is Open Account Request. This is basically a request to open an account for a new customer. Click on Add, select the customer's group, and after you select the group, the account that is linked to that group will appear in the field account number. Then we enter the customer's name for a name, and if we've previously added or created types for our customers, then we can select the right one or the right type that this customer is under from the drop-down menu Customers Types. Alright, so if this customer has been referred to us by another customer, then you will enter the customer who referred them in the main customer number field. You will hit F9 and select the customer. We have 5 tabs here. The first one is Master Details. In degree number, we can select this customer's degree according to the criteria that we've set for the degrees or according to the company's policy. From branch, we can select the branch that this customer deals with us through. Then we can enter the customer's location. This is optional though. And we can also link this customer to a representative and a collector from the drop-down menus. And we can also link this customer to a vendor, a route, and a cost center. We can enter the customer's credit period. That's going to be in days. And we have a variable, the variable representative wise. If we enable this one, then the system will treat this customer as both a customer and a representative at the same time. Then we have the variable insurance company. If we enabled it, the system adds the field insurance company to select one of the insurance companies. That is in case we're linking this customer to an insurance company. We will select the currencies as well that this customer deals with us with from the table below. The user can create a credit limit and an invoice limit for each currency. We can also choose whether we want this customer to exceed the credit limit or not, and the selection will be per currency as well. You can allow, do not allow, or allow with alert. If we select allow or allow with alert, we will need to select the percentage or determine the percentage by which this customer is allowed to exceed the limit. The user also have the option to select a pricing level from the drop-down menu, and that is per currency as well. Then we have inactive, and that is in case we want to disable one or more of the currencies. The next tab we have is other data, and in other data we can add the customer's contact information. And by the way, we can blacklist this customer or deactivate the customer, which is inactive. If we blacklist the customer, then we have basically blocked them from dealing with the facility throughout all the branches. But if we check the variable inactive, then we've temporarily suspended dealing with this customer, and in the future we can just easily remove that suspension and go back to dealing with the customer business as usual. By the way, you can reactivate this customer for a specific period, and we can enter the date of that period from the field active customer during period from date and to date. If you take a look here, we have a variable called stop sales. So do you guys remember the variable that enabled us to use this customer as both a customer and a representative? Now, this variable here means that we're suspending their contribution as a representative, and they will only be treated as customers. So that is basically the highlight of this tab. We can also create a maximum discount percentage for this customer if needed, and the rest of the fields in this screen are like contact information, reasons why this customer is inactive or blacklisted, you know, the fields that we're used to. Now the next tab we have is additional data. The first field is where we enter this customer's commercial registration number, if they do have one. Then we can enter this customer's activity, tax number, and in some countries there's like this thing that's called statistics number. You will basically just enter that if it's applicable in your case or in this customer's case. Then we can enter the tax subject, which is the type of tax this customer is registered to, and we can also enter the customer's capital. Next tab is additional fields. You know what this one is for. And the final tab we have is guarantee details. Now if you have any guarantees on this customer, then you can enter the details here. Alright, and we're actually done with the screen. Thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and we will see you again soon.